Good morning. This is the start of me embarking on a pre-publication book launch. I was advised to try TikTok, so that is what I am doing. So, what I plan to do over the next 90 days or so, because that's how long it's going to take the book to get published, and I'm going to take elements from it, share it, and talk about it here. And I'm going to call this my soft TikTok book launch. I don't love video, so bear with me. So this is day one, and I'll indicate that in the video. So the name of the book is Love That Transcends Tolerance. And so starting with the cover page, let's talk a little bit about that. So that's just the title and my name, and that will probably constitute day one, day two, possibly day three. So the title, Love That Transcends Tolerance. So love, I'm talking about love that actually feels like tolerance for someone that is transgender. It's not saying that the parents don't love their children. You love your child, but you see their identity as a threat or something negative. You love your child, but you see the identity as a threat, their identity, their gender identity, as a threat or something negative. So this doesn't have to have a malicious intent. And I know there's always this narrative of parents, these bad parents that kick their children out of the house and things like that. And it happens, and it's tragic, and it's bad. But just as pervasive are parents that want to be supportive because they love their children, but the love they share and exude, it has this negative connotation that they may not even be aware of, because the intent is not necessarily malicious. It can even come from a protective place. It can come from a place of actual fear about what's going on in the world, and the actual fear of what can happen to their child with their identity, or additional hurdles that they may have to encounter in their life because of this identity. This may be the source of it. However, how does that feel when you have this love for your child that sees their identity, who they are, as a bad thing, as this negative thing, as this threatening thing? Intent is different than impact. So the intent is not malicious, but the impact is still harmful. So you're telling someone that you love that, oh my God, this is bad. You may not say those words, but they can pick up on, this is a problem. This is a bad thing. Who you are is a bad thing. So you have to couple this with how difficult it already is to come out, as themselves. It's difficult to take because they've heard the bad stories too. First of all, some people, when they come out, they don't, you think about these parents not knowing anything about being transgender. They themselves may not even know a lot about being transgender. They just realize that, my God, I'm transgender. So to have all this internally, and then you have to come out to the people that you love, and they love you, and you start to hear all these stories, these horror stories about, you have to hear all that, you're aware of all that, and then you come to the person you love and they say, oh, I love you, but oh my God, this is a lot. This is not great. This is something bad. That's what and you're trying to use the right pronouns, and you're, giving it a good old, college try. You really are. So there is some relief, on part, of course. However, if you talk about having a strong relationship, imagine someone giving you, but I love you, you know. So despite that relief that they're not being necessarily excluded, has little to do with them, but everything to do with us as parents who want to be supportive, who strive to be. That's the why of the book. That's the why of the title of the book. I am here as your biggest leader because I was that trying to be affirming, but not the authentic type of support and affirmation that my son deserved and that anybody who's brave enough to come out deserves. So yes, this book can speak to those who have threatened their children or kicked their children out, or done all sorts of things, and they want to be able to learn to accept. But even more so, it's written for those well-intentioned parents that just don't know how to create that authentic type of love and support. And once again, it might not be malicious. It might not be veiled threats. You might be trying to do all the things right. I'm a teacher, so of course I was trying to do all the things right. But there's a barrier there. And that can shift your relationship. That can distance your relationship. But I'm here because I have no doubt that you can turn this around. I turned this around. I will walk you through it. This is your work. This is not your child's work. We need to create a blanket around these children. This is a work for grandparents and people in the family that might need this to know what it means to be an authentic supporter, instead of someone scratching their head like, oh, okay, yeah, I love Johnny, but wow, shift that person. So that's why I'm here. And the next video, I'll talk more about why me, why now, why this work.